Hello everyone. So today I would like to talk about what you need to have when you have a product. And I'm talking about when you outsource some development to a provider, etc. It's easy to lose the control of your development. So the solution is, of course, to get access and to have access to the source code. The source code is the basic. That's what will allow any engineers to evolve, to improve your product, the current product, maybe your first MVP, the minimum viable product, the first version of your application. That's the basic. But this is not enough. So basically, the use case and the client I am working right now, I'm right now doing an audit. That's a classical use case. The founder delegated some development to a provider. Then they had a kind of a disagreement about the future, about the way it has been developed, and above all, how much it costs to maintain, etc. So at some point, the founder is wondering if he could or should switch to another provider. And then he asked me, in that case, to do an audit. So I analyze the entire solution. And not only the source code, by the way, but other points as well that are very important. The thing is, based on this audit, the founder will have to make a decision either to keep moving forward with this product, to improve this product, or to restart from scratch the product. And it's going to be based on the conclusion of this audit and knowing if it's easier to improve that current version or to restart on something brand new. Most of the time, we do our best, of course, to keep using the original product as soon as it is relevant for the long term. So this decision will not be based only on the source code. The source code is one thing. But the second thing that you absolutely need to have is a little bit of documentation. If your source code is well structured, it's pretty easy, and the source code can be the documentation by its own if there are some comments, etc. in the source code. And in addition to the documentation, what is very important to have also are the configurations. So by configuration, I mean the configuration files that where we can find how to connect to a database, how to connect to APIs, how to connect to partners, etc., etc. How the application will be installed on the server side, and how it is going to interact with all the components of the application. And two more things. The infrastructure. The infrastructure is very important as well. You need, as a founder, to have the control and to have access to the infrastructure. So first things, of course, to the domain name. You need to register the domain name by your own, and you need to keep the control of the domain name. And the second thing is the infrastructure on its own, based on the server hosting, the database hosting as well, maybe storing files, etc. You have different type of services when it comes to host an application, and more specifically if we talk about also a mobile application. And last but not least, I think one of the most important after having the source code is to be sure that your application follow this standard. What do I mean by that? I mean that it's very easy to find a developer who had one day a specific idea on how to build something, and it became your one-man solution or one-man architecture. And if you go down that path, you can find a solution where only one man can improve this product. And if someone else wants to come and dive into this source code, they will have to spend hours, days, or even months to figure out how it works. And it's going to be very, very hard for them to keep moving forward with this current version. So follow the standard. Be sure that any type of developers or providers you are working with are going to build things in a very standard way. And I mean by standard, not using the standard of the banking field to build an MVP as example. It doesn't make any sense. There are specific languages that are well known in the startup ecosystem. Just use those languages. Don't use, like I've seen this year, some C++ language to develop a web application, or some database component, some database scripts to develop a part of the real application, it doesn't make any sense. Not because it's not effective. It can be very effective, like in the banking field, as example, or in a specific use case. But for a startup, if you want to be able to switch from one developer to another, to grow your team, to hire many people in the same team, to grow your team, to grow your company, just stick to very easy to maintain technology, well-known technologies, where you can find a lot of developers on that technologies. That's going to make things a lot easier for your company as well as for future developers. So I hope it helps. So remember, source code, very important, infrastructure, documentation with configuration, as well as follow the standard. Be sure that everything that you are building or delegating, follow the standard. That's going to help you for you and for your project and the future of your project. Wishing you a great day, and I'm going to talk to you very soon in another episode. Bye for now.